was going to make a video about the group stage of the Euros today, sort of going through the tournament so far, looking at my predictions, where I went right, where I went wrong, maybe refreshing my predictions for the knockouts. And then I realized that just half the video would be me ranting about England. So let's set aside the group stage recap for now and talk about the three lions. First of all, boring. I think we all agree it's not really surprising. I think by now we know that Southgate ball is boring. And boring it's okay. It's fine if it gets you results. And England did not get the results. Let me say this. I was calm about the group stage, like most of the way. I predicted the Serbia match would be 3-1 for England. Ended up being 1-0. This is where I think I underestimated just how sluggish they would be. But you think first match of the tournament, there's nerves, there's rust, although not really, because the Iceland match was 9 days before. But you give them some grace. It was 3 points. It was the first match. Then I predicted a 1-1 draw with Denmark, which was spot on. So everything was going to plan for me, other than the Kane comments about Lineker, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But I wasn't surprised that it was a draw. That's what I had predicted. Though, to be fair, I also expected Denmark to look better. So, in hindsight, against this Denmark, I would have hoped for a win for England. The Slovenia match is what made me lose the faith. Never been a fan of Southgate, but you would think that by now he'd start to understand his own shortcomings, and he just still has the blinders on. I think the only time that England looked like England should, not just in that match, in the Slovenia match, but in the entire group stage, was an added time against Slovenia when Palmer and Gordon were on. And I know that in my predictions video I said something about Gordon coming on and making a difference. And that's not me being biased because I'm a Newcastle fan. That's me knowing how Gordon is playing because I'm a Newcastle fan and I watched him closely in 48, I think, appearances last season. I don't know if I've even talked about this, I must have, but I wasn't thrilled when Newcastle signed him. Now I'm all in. Like, there's nothing to dislike about the guy, so I can understand that people on the outside are skeptical about him, but like I've been saying, pay attention to Anthony Gordon, and I'm not the only one. So, all is not lost yet. They've made it out of the group stage at the top of the group, so it's a clean slate now. But if we don't see Gordon and or Palmer starting on Sunday, that'll be it for me. And you know, there's a lot of chatter about a 3-4-3 being the answer, moving Saka to left wing back because he played left back at the academy. He's left-footed. Then you've got Trent on the right. Okay, your back line is Walker, Stones, and Gahey, who's been fantastic. So has Stones, to be fair. They wouldn't touch Kane up front. So who do you have as your central mids and your wingers? Do you put like Jude and Mainu or Rice in the middle? The thing is, it hasn't been going well for Jude. So maybe it's Mainu and Rice. But Rice has been hot and cold too. Okay, hear me out. Foden and Mainu. And then Gordon on the left. And Palmer on the right for the wings. I think I'm talking myself back into a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 now. But let me know in the comments who you would start, what kind of formation you would use in the round of 16 match against Slovakia. In any case, they've had, or they will have had, 4 days between the Slovenia and Slovakia matches to try and work something out on the training ground. We'll see what Southgate has come up with. Expectations are low, especially after he tried to switch things up with Gallagher in the last match, and that was terrible. He might be hesitant to be creative again. And the thing about the 3-4-3, let me just add one more thing. He's done 3-4-3 before in other tournaments, but for defensive reasons. Now, the argument for 3-4-3 is for the team to be more attacking, basically to make room for Cole Palmer by moving Saka to the back. But England under Southgate is not an attacking team. We said it at the top. It's boring. And that dissonance would worry me. Like, moving around the formation in hopes of being more attacking, when the problem of playing attacking football for England goes so much deeper than just the formation. But moving on, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is Harry Kane having his feelings hurt. So look, I listen to The Rest is Football, and when the podcast came out and I listened to it, there was nothing that made me go, bit harsh, Gary Lineker. And like, I'm a sensitive little person. I feel like if like I would have clocked something like that relatively easy. I thought he gave a very fair and balanced and honest account of the game, but he was critical. And then Harry Kane comes out and he says that ex-players have a responsibility. And I don't think he ever said exactly what that responsibility is, but the insinuation is that they should be cheerleaders for the team. And then, kind of just to be petty, he throws in, and those guys never won anything for the country anyway. Media training, be damned, thrown out the window. And to me, I have a couple issues with that. First of all, look, if Southgate and the England squad are being told, oh, you guys did good, then you get the problem of, you get the Southgate problem of game over game and year over year getting the same bad result or underperforming. And that's the key here, is that they're underperforming under Southgate's instruction. Of course, international football is a whole different beast than club football. They're not training as a squad as often, and individual talent might not be as crucial in some situations as the team cohesion. You look at these guys, a lot of them, most of them are playing in the Premier League. It just feels like, even though they're all individuals, super talented individuals, you would still expect them to play together better than what we're seeing. But also, these ex-players, these pundits, they are not the team's PR department, and they're not journalists. So to me, that was Gary Lineker showing some emotion, showing that he cares about the team and the country, everyone watching back home and in the stands is thinking the same thing, feeling the same way. And so the wonderful thing about having ex-players as pundits and ex-players who have really good on-camera presence at that is that you get a deeply knowledgeable take on what's going on, but also guys who are personally invested in seeing the team win. So look, as captain, Kane is defending the manager and the squad, but I think the move would have been to just not address it in the media. Address it with the team. You know, if you really think the pundits are wrong, hold a team meeting, and in that room, you can tell the kids, hey, those guys never won anything. If you really think that that's the best attitude to take, I don't. I don't think that helps you win at all. But ideally, what you'd really do as a team leader is to sit with the young players, guide them through the experience, to go to the media and tell the public that those ex-players have a responsibility to go soft on the team. To me, it's just turning left when you should be going right. They have to know that those were not good performances other than, some individual performances. It's been bad, and I hope that they realize that, and that hearing it from an ex-player or from a fan is not news to them. They have to know that they can't win a tournament like this, so maybe some of those pundits should be heard by some of the right people. Bottom line, if there was nothing to criticize, you'd be Spain, but you're not. So let's be honest with ourselves. Anyway, guys, totally unrelated, but I have to give a quick shout out to my team, Canada, who are doing okay in the Copa America. If we can hang on for one more match against Chile, we're through to the knockouts, despite the Peruvians actually trying to break some legs and crack a skull. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you very soon in the next video.